Hello, crafty friends. Welcome back to the Brutus Monroe channel today. Today I am using the Underwater Friends, which is the new July release with these cute images of underwater mermaids, fishes, and whatnot. But today I'm focusing on the shark here, and I'm going to use some of the Chroma Mists, particularly the two blues and the pearl mist. I'm going to make a background with that, and then we'll move on to the shark. Let's get started. I usually save my Brutus Monroe boxes when they arrive with the goodies because they make for a perfect splatter catch box. So first of all, I'm going to spray the watercolor panel with some water so that when I spray the mist, they'll flow much more easily. I'm going to start with the pearl mist first. Going to lay that down, and then next I'm using turquoise, and then finally the cobalt blue. I only want to use a little bit of the cobalt blue since it's much stronger color. I'm going to use the paintbrush just a little bit to help the color move around. And if it is pooling to one side, you can always remove it with the help of a paper napkin or towel. And next I'm going to use the heat gun just to help us dry this panel a little faster. When the panel is dry, it just looks amazing. There are splatters that you can see of the pearl mist, and since it's underneath, it kind of just shines through the blues. Next, let's work on the shark. I'm just going to use the same cobalt blue to color the top half of the shark. Nothing fancy, simply adding color and then dragging it out little by little with water so that it's more shaded or lighter on one side and darker on the other side. For the bottom half of the shark, I'm using aqua pigment in peach. I just need a tiny bit to shade that bottom half. And once again, to finish off that last bit, I'm using a tinge of blue, just right at the edges. Next, I'm just going to fussy cut this shark since I do not have the coordinating dies for it. It's pretty easy, and here it is. Next, let's get going on that panel again. I'm using Distress Oxide ink in Prize Ribbon, and I'm just going to ink up this seaweed stamp and make sort of a small background right at the bottom of this panel so that it looks like the shark is swimming in the ocean. After that, I'm going to position the shark where I need so that I know I have enough space to stamp my sentiment. For that, I'm using the black soot ink in Distress Oxide. Again, I don't want that very dark black, the Raven black from Brutus Monroe. I wanted something that was a little lighter, hence the use of the Distress Oxide ink. Bear with me as this is a slightly technical card, and I will show you exactly how we are going to get that shark to move around on the panel. So pay attention to this part of the video. I'm using the Ellen Hudson Tilt and Rock dies for this part, but this can easily be done using a hole punch and a strip of paper. So this is easy to do even if you did not have these dies. In the center, I've put the die that will cut the hole for me, and I'm just securing it with some washi tape as I run it through the die cutting machine. And I've also die cut this part just from a piece of white cardstock. Basically, it's a little circular part that becomes the anchoring point, and the bottom part of that strip will hold the weight, which is a penny. So that's how it makes the rocking movement in this card. So let's get started. Here's a penny. And I'm going to use a lot of clear glue dots at the bottom to secure that penny so that it does not fall off. Here it is. So on the other side of that strip of paper that has the thicker kind of circle, we want to make sure that we stick the foam tape on the opposite side of where we stuck the penny. So I have here a foam dot that I'm going to put. Notice that the penny is on the back side of that. So there you go. There's the little foam dot. You want to use a dot that it fits inside that circular hole that we have done on our panel so that it doesn't hold up the tilt and rock movement in this card, just like so. That foam dot is where we will put our shark on. So if you feel you need a little more height, you can always add another foam dot on top of that. And I've done the same. I've added one extra foam dot right on top of that one. And also I'm going to add another two foam dots, this time on the shark itself, one right towards the front end of the shark and one towards the tail. But this time I'm not going to release the I'm not going to take off the release paper. This is simply so that the shark kind of stays little flat and doesn't get caught while you're putting the card inside an envelope, right? So that's the only reason for these foam dots, just to balance the shark on the card. Here's that mechanism at work. The shark now kind of moves freely from one point. It will rock and tilt. There we go. It's so much fun. And in the last few steps, I'm just going to add some double-sided tape to this panel, but I'm going to double it up so that the coin inside can move freely. There's 2 layers of that foam tape. I'm going to use a black panel to give it a nice edge. And once that black panel is in place, I'm just going to test it out one more time, and then finally going to apply some adhesive and stick it to my card base. I did add on some gems to the final card, but unfortunately I don't have the video to show that. You could add some more gems, just make sure not to block that rocking mechanism. That's it for the card. I hope you liked it. If you do, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I will have all the links to all the supplies used in this video below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.